GST 101, Use of English 1, Model 5, Recommended Text, GST 101 Textbook. Model 5, The Major and the Minor Parts of Speech by Lucky Onebonne. When we group words into different classes in order to ascertain their individual functions, we refer to each class or group as a part of speech. Though some grammarians may identify 8 or 9 parts of speech, we would be considering 7 of them in this course book. They are nouns, adjectives, adverbs, verbs, pronouns, prepositions, and conjunctions. These 7 classes are further divided into 2 parts: the major parts of speech and the minor parts of speech. A. The major parts of speech. General characteristics. 1. Ostensive definition of the word's meaning is possible. That is, definition by pointing at the object or the activity. 2. Their meaning is lexical or dictionary meaning. That is, there is a referent in the word. We also call these words content words. 3. Diachronically, the words emerge and disappear fast. If there are new inventions or items, activities go out of use. 4. Open part word classes. That is, words can be added to these classes. The next point, they can take on inflectional changes. Hence, they change their form as demanded of the sentence construction. The major parts of speech in English include the noun, the adjective, the adverb, and the verb. The minor parts of speech. Introduction. The minor parts of speech are also called grammatical words. Grammatical words are also called closed system items or minor word class. They are not as important as the major parts of speech. Their number is limited and is more or less fixed according to AEC number 16. They include pronouns, prepositions, and conjunction. Now, noun, definition, attributes, formation of nouns, functions, and types. Noun. A noun can be defined as a name of a person, animal, place, things, concept, quality, and abstract ideas. They are used to identify people, places, animals, things, or ideas. Attributes of nouns. Noun has subject and object, and also plurality. Formation of noun plurals. Number 1, we have regular plurals. Most nouns add the plural markers s to indicate plurals of the words, though some end in x, ch, o, sh. For these ones, add es to the end of the word. Examples. 1. The cutlasses are blunt. Cutlasses is underlined. Number 2. The tomatoes are all ripe. Tomatoes is underlined. B. Irregular plural. Some nouns form their plural irregularly. Examples. 1a. The dwarf is a thief. Example 2. There are several dwarves in Oka. Dwarf and dwarves are underlined. Some nouns have identical singular and identical plural forms. Example, aircraft is aircraft, ship is ship. Usually, compound nouns take the plural form to the first nouns. For example, father-in-law becomes fathers-in-law. Passerby becomes passers-by. The next is plural tantum or summation pluralization. The first is a Latin word for plural only. It's always only the plural form and are used for objects that operate in pairs. For instance, scissors, trousers, glasses, etc. We use measure words to quantify these objects. For example, a pair of glasses, not just saying glasses. Functions of noun. Number 1, nouns as subject. Example, Dr. Ada is a famous pragmatician. Dr. Ada is underlined. B. Salami wears wig to school. Salami is underlined. Number 2, nouns as direct object. Example, A. Lois cooked soup. B. Audrey slapped the woman. Soup and the woman are underlined. Now note, direct objects seek to answer the question of what or whom. Number 3, nouns as indirect object. Example, A. She bought her husband a car. B. Abigail paid Ebere the money. Her husband, Ebere, are underlined. Indirect object answers the question for what, to what, for whom, to whom. Number 4, nouns as object of preposition. Example, A. BC is sitting on the table. B. Bola's toy is under the bed. So table and bed are underlined. The underlined words are the object of the preposition on and under. Number 5, nouns as complement. We have subject and object complement. A. Reverend Lucky is a teacher. Teacher is the subject complement. B. The PCC elected Peter secretary. Because it follows and renames the direct object, the underlined is the object complement. Number 6, noun in apposition. A. Mr. Obi, the chairman, has arrived. The chairman is underlined. Now, types of nouns. 1. Proper nouns. These are specific names of people, of places, people, things, the names of days and weeks, months, institution, religion, organization, historical document, and so on. No matter their position in a sentence, they must begin with a capital letter. They are the opposite of a common noun. Examples are A. Schools will resume in November. Schools will resume in November. November is underlined. Number 2, Nnamdi Azikiwe University is located in Awka. Nnamdi Azikiwe University and Awka are underlined. Second type, common nouns. These are the general names of a person, place, and things. It is only started with a capital letter when they begin a sentence. For example, lecturers have been on strike for 8 months. B. The patients are responding to the drug. So strike, month, patients, drug are underlined. Number 3 type, abstract nouns. These are nouns that cannot be experienced with the 5 senses. They are the opposite of concrete nouns. For example, A. Am I at liberty to speak? There is democracy in USA. Liberty, democracy are underlined. Number 4, concrete nouns. This type of noun is tangible and can be identified using the 5 senses. It could be a proper noun, a common noun, or a concrete noun. For example, A. This smartphone was bought today. B. My father is the best. Smartphone, father are underlined. Next is countable noun or count nouns. These are the name of any countable thing. it should be singular or plural. They are the opposite of countable nouns and collective nouns. For example, A, the pink shirt is for Mma. B, the child is here. Shirt and child are underlined. Next, non-countable noun. Also referred to as mass noun, is a noun without plural forms and denotes something one cannot count. It usually takes a singular verb in a sentence. For instance, A, the furniture for the sitting room is ready. B, Bingo drank the milk from the jar. So furniture, milk are underlined. Next is collective noun. This noun names persons, place, and things as a unit. We would count the number of the group, but the group is regarded as a unit. For example, A, the class is seated. B, the choir rendered a beautiful piece. Next is adjectives. Definition, degrees, types, and order. Adjectives modify or qualify a noun, a pronoun, and another adjective in a sentence. They can tell the quantity and quality of things and are used for comparison. For example, the wall was painted with blue color. Blue is underlined. B, Ekwunife is short, fat, and dark. Short, fat, and dark are underlined. Degrees of adjectives. We have 3 degrees of adjectives. They are positive, comparative, and superlative. Number 1, positive adjectives. This is used to describe and not to compare. For example, the woman is young. B, BC is good. Young and good are underlined. Number 2, comparative adjectives. Here we compare 2 things. For example, A, Kamsi is younger than his wife. B, Mr. Ebo is wickeder than Miss Comfort. Younger and wickeder are both underlined. Also note that most times they could be followed by the word than. 3, superlative adjectives. Here we compare 3 or more things. For example, A, Ada is the tallest of the 3 girls. Tallest is underlined. B, Simi is the wickedest in the family. Wickedest is underlined. That's what is called descriptive adjectives. We have regular descriptive adjectives which can change the comparative and superlative form of an adjective by adding er and est to the ending. Example, short, shorter, shortest. Also, we could use more or most for the comparative and superlative form of the adjective. For example, beautiful, more beautiful, and most beautiful. We have regular descriptive adjective, which is an exception to the rule above. Example, good, better, and best. Types of adjectives. 1, descriptive adjective. These are used to describe nouns and pronouns. They give more information about the thing under discussion. Example A, I rejected the old worn-out shoe my brother gave me. Old worn-out is underlined. So the underline describes why the shoe was rejected. Number 2, quantitative adjective. They inform us about the quantity of something and answer the questions how many or how much. They involve numbers like 2, 3, and so on, and some other general words like many, whole, all, few, half, a lot, enough, and so on. For example, A lot of water is needed to bath the baby. A lot is underlined. The underline states the information that is observed. Number 3, qualitative adjectives. They describe the quality of living and non-living things and answer the questions what kind. They can form the 3 degrees of adjectives. They are abstract in nature and therefore cannot be counted. For example, cold, horrible, beautiful, pathetic, and so on. Number 4, possessive adjectives. They describe the quality of possessive adjective. This type modifies a noun or noun phrase. It has relations with possessive pronouns. For example, their car is beautiful. Their modifies the noun car. B, the girl came with her cat. Her modifies the noun cat. The next one is demonstrative adjectives. This type is used to modify noun to enable us know the noun that is referred to in a sentence. For example, A, I love these oranges that you bought. B, I love those shoes on the wardrobe. So these and those are underlined. 6, interrogative adjectives. As the name implies, this type asks questions like what and which and act like interrogative pronouns. For example, A, which is your hostel? Which is underlined. B, what is her name? What is underlined. The next is indefinite adjectives. It qualifies a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase like an indefinite pronoun. Example, A, many people came to her rescue. Many modifies the noun people. B, is there any water in the refrigerator? Any modifies water. How to order adjectives in English. In many languages, adjectives denoting attributes usually occur in a specific order. Generally, the adjectives order in English is A, quantity and number. B, quality or opinion. C, size. D, age. E, shape. F, color. G, proper adjectives, often nationality, other place of origin or material. Then lastly, H, purpose or qualifier. For example, I love that really big old green antique car that always parked at the end of the street. So really big old green antique then car are all examples of adjective order in English. B, my sister adopted a beautiful big white bulldog. So a beautiful big white bulldog are examples of adjective order in English. The next topic is adverb. Alright, subtopic adverb, definition and types. Definition. Adverbs are words, a group of words that modifies a verb, an adjective, and another adverb in a sentence. They commonly end in ly, though not all. They usually describe the way an action takes place. For example, A, the boy ran slowly. Slowly modifies ran. B, Ncheta is a very beautiful lady. Very beautiful. Very modifies the adjective beautiful. Types of adjectives. Types of adverbs rather. Permit me. Number 1, adverbs of manner. Here we are informed of how something is carried out. It usually ends in ly. For example, the woman cried loudly. B, he folded the sheet neatly. Number 2, adverb of place. It informs us about venue of the action. They usually occur after the main verb or direct adjective of the sentence. For example, A, his parents looked for him outside. Outside is underlined. Number 3, adverbs of time. It gives information when the event took place. It usually occurs at the beginning or end of a sentence. For example, A, the dues is paid quarterly. B, he traveled to the village recently. So quarterly and recently are underlined. Number 4, adverb of degree. This shows the extent of the action of the verb. For example, A. Iman nearly drowned in the river. Nearly is underlined. B. I almost paid for the phone yesterday. I almost is underlined. Number 5, adverb of frequency. They answer the question, how often? These adverbs tend to appear right before the main verb in the sentence or at the end of the clause. Popular adverbs in this category include again, always, every, day, week, year, and so on. Never, normally, rarely, seldom, sometimes, usually, and so on. For example, A. I always read a book before bed. How often do you read a book before bed? B. He normally walks his dog at this time. How often does he walk his dog at this time? So always and normally are underlined. The next subtopic is verb, definition, and kinds. Verbs are the most necessary part of the sentence. It talks about the subject and also expresses actions and state of being. We cannot do without it in a sentence, as it is the predicate that usually comes after a noun. It could be single or compound one and changes its tenses to denote present or past. For example, A. Obi runs every day. Runs is a verb and the core of the sentence. It describes the action of the noun Obi. Kinds of verbs. Verbs are classified into two major types, the finite and the non-finite verbs. Number 1, finite verb. These are verbs that highlight the full sense in every sentence. Could you be 72? It can stand alone and must agree with the subject of the sentence. We can further classify them to lexical and auxiliary verbs. A. Lexical verbs. They are the main verbs that represent actions or events in a sentence. They carry the main meaning in a sentence. They take up new words and are parts of the open class system. Next is auxiliary verb. They are also called helping verbs. They are grouped into primary and modal auxiliaries. They help the main verb in showing time, tense, and possibilities. We have two types under this. 1, primary auxiliary. They include be, have, and do. They are am, is, are, being, were, was, be, been. Next is has, have, and had. Next is do, does, did, and done. The next type is modal auxiliaries. They are not the full verb in the sentence. They show aspects and the mood of the speaker. They are used to express certainty, capabilities, probability, possibility, necessity, and so on. So examples are may, might, must, shall or should, will, would, can, could, dare, need, ought to, used to. The next type is non-finite verb. They showcase and physical attributes of verbs, but function as other parts of speech. Examples are the infinitive, participle, and the gerund. The next subtopic, now we're in the domain of the minor parts of speech. The first is pronoun, definition, and kinds. Pronouns are used to substitute nouns or a noun phrase pointing to a person, place, or thing without naming it. They are identified with such words as he, she, it, they, we, you, us, and so on. For example, Mesama is a student, and the Mesama goes to the market. Mmesoma loves eating rice and beans, and Mmesoma loves playing lawn tennis. The above sentences are boring and monotonous because of repetition of the noun Mmesoma. It is therefore expedient to use the pronoun to be to he to or she to substitute Mmesoma to make the sentence flow. Therefore, Mmesoma is a student and she goes to the market. She loves eating rice and beans and she loves playing lawn tennis. Kinds of pronouns. Number 1, personal pronouns. These can stand for persons, animal, and things. Refer to as A. First person or the speaker. I, we, me, us. B. Second person or the listener. You, yourself. C. Third person or what is spoken of. He, she, it, him, her, them, they, and so on. A. I want to drink water. We are going to school. B. You own your own body. Keep the news to yourself. C. He or she killed the rat. It rained cat and dog yesterday. The next is possessive pronouns. These show their position of action, event, or object as indicated in a sentence. This means that they show that something belongs to somebody or something. They can be classified into 3. A. First person possessive, mine singular plus ours plural. B. Second person possessive, yours singular plus yours plural. C. Third person possessive, his, her, it singular plus theirs plural. For example, your child is bigger than mine. Ours is to read out the script. This car is yours. The next example, the disputed piece of land is his or hers. Next is the train left its cars and entered the river. Next is the house they live in is theirs. Demonstrative pronouns. These identify the thing and persons to which references are made to in a sentence. For example, singular demonstrative pronouns. These, that. Plural demonstrative pronouns. These, those. Examples. A. This is my pen. B. That is the boy who stole their car. C. These are the tools for repairing the television. D. Those are the students who failed the exams. The next type is indefinite pronouns. They are sought out by such words as one, somebody, everybody, and anybody. They are called indefinite pronouns because they don't make use of such antecedents like he, she, or it, but go with one, one's, oneself, and so on. For example, A. I prefer dark complexioned ladies to fair ones. B. The fair baby cries harder than the dark ones. The next is reflexive pronouns. They are also called emphasizing pronouns because they are usually formed by adding self and own to the 3 persons of personal pronouns. For example, A. First person singular, first person plural. I witnessed the event myself. We witnessed the event ourselves. I will board the train on my own account. We will board the train on our own account. The next, second person singular, second person plural. We entertained him by yourself. You entertained him by yourself. You entertained us by yourselves. You take the risks on your own account. You take the risks on your own account. Next is third person singular, third person plural. She defended the man himself. They defended the man themselves. She, it landed Enugu on its own account. They landed Enugu on their own account. Number 6, numerical pronouns. These are used to show both cardinal, 1, 2, 3, and so on, and ordinal, first, second, third, fourth, and so on, numbers. For example, a light. How many pair of glasses do you have? Courage. I have 3 pair of glasses. B. GST 111 is the first lecture today. What is the second class? When is the second class, rather? The next one is relative or conjunctive pronouns. As the name implies, they are also called conjunctive pronouns, used in sentences to represent nouns that have been earlier mentioned in a sentence. They are also called conjugate pronouns because they join 2 sentences. The noun or personal pronoun to which the conjugative pronoun is related to is called the antecedent. They are identified with such words as whose, who, which, that, and so on. Example, Nkiru is one of the women that fought Ada yesterday. B. That is the woman who returned my money. The next and last is interrogative pronouns. They play the role of asking questions in sentences. For example, what is the matter? B. Who did you tell? C. Which one is your sister? And the next subtopic is preposition, definition, types, and functions. Prepositions are words or group of words used to show a relationship between a noun or pronoun and other words like a verb or another noun. A preposition expresses a relation between 2 entities, one being that represented by the prepositional complement, Greenbaum and Quirk 143. They include on, in, by, at, for, from, into, across, behind, after, with, against, above, along, around, within. Types. Our emphasis on 3 types: simple, complex or compound, and postposed prepositions. A. Simple preposition. It is made up of one word preposition like in, on, at, from, by, with. B. Complex or compound prepositions. It is made up of more than one word. 2 categories exist under this type and are 1. Preposition or plus preposition, away from, along with, instead of, up to, out of, as for. Next is preposition plus noun plus preposition, in front of, in addition to, in view of, with the intention of. Then the next is postposed preposition. This is placed after the verb. It goes with WH question, exclamations, relative clauses, passive voice, and infinitive clauses. For example, 1. WH questions. What are you up to? Where are you coming from? When will you leave? The next is relative clauses. The man whom I am married to. The home which I have accepted. The woman whose husband is late. Exclamation. Alas, Amaka is here. Behold, the vicar has come. Oh, what a terrible situation. Next is infinitive clauses. The hall is so hot to stay in. Samuel's mother is nice to stay with. The bed is too soft to lie on. Next is passive voice. The mob ran after the thief. Our pastor was taken care of by the host. Functions of preposition. In grammar, prepositions are used to complement a verb. That is, example, Benin Republic depends on Nigeria for electricity. Next, prepositions are used with adjuncts. An adjunct complements a complete sentence. For instance, the choir are rehearsing at night. Next is prepositions are used with conjuncts. Conjuncts join two things with what is said and what is said before. For example, come to think of it, you neglected me halfway. The next prepositions are used with disjuncts. Disjuncts are used to evaluate a sentence in terms of surprise and are normally separated with a comma. To the amazement of everybody, the man survived the stampede. Note, when a preposition precedes two nouns or pronouns, the nouns or pronouns take the position of object. For example, a large portion of the food was given to you and me. Next, conjunction, definition and classes. A conjunction can be defined as a word that is used to connect other words, phrases, or sentences. Ogene 87. They are linking words and performs a linking function. Examples of conjunction in English are and, but, if. Example 1. The football match came to an end and the players left the pitch. Next, nobody goes to the market if IPOB declares sit at home order. Major classes of conjunction. There are two major classes of conjunction: coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. 1. Coordinating conjunctions. They join words, phrases, clauses, or sentences of equal grammatical importance. They include and, or, nor, yet, for, but still, therefore, however, and so on. Example A. Kamsi or Kosi will do the work. B. You passed the entire exam but physics. Next is the subordinating conjunctions. They join in dependent or subordinate clauses to the independent or main clauses. For examples, as, that, though, unless, because, if, else, since, as far as, then, than, provided, whether, even, while. Example 1. I will marry you if you pay my bride price. B. Although he is brilliant, he failed the examination. C. Martha cooked while Mary listened. Other types of conjunctions are the correlative conjunctions. They are those conjunctions that go in pairs. For example, A. Ume is neither tall nor fat. B. He was offended and accordingly refused to eat his dinner. Next is quasi-coordinating conjunction. It joins structure of equal grammatical rank. For example, I love Ada as much as I love Masi. Lastly, rather than living with her husband, she lived with Emeka. Thank you. You can go through the exercises. Thank you.